much of the problem is Kobe? Skip?
Stephen A. Smith, I'm about to be disrespectful again, but in this case, painfully, honestly disrespectful. Kobe Bryant has become the biggest of many Laker problems. As Kerry just pointed out, it was 2 days ago when the Lakers were 15-15. They're now 15-16.
Thank you.
Kobe Bryant said, yeah, thank you very much, says the Laker fan. Kobe said, I'm probably playing the best I've played in a long time. Wow. Kobe said that at 15-15? Really? 15-15? It's so not Kobe. It's so wrong. This is the leader and obviously the best player on a failing basketball team saying, I'm playing the best I've been playing. So speaking of unleashing, Kobe unleashed 29 more shot attempts last night. That gave him by far the most of any player in the NBA this season. He's now 121 more shots attempted than Russell Westbrook. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole nother issue for another day. But Stephen A., I hark back to the terrific piece written by our friend Chris Broussard a couple of weeks back, in which he anonymously quoted various rival assistant coaches, scouts, GMs as saying, it's Kobe. Kobe's the problem. We want Kobe to shoot all he wants to shoot because we can deal with that. We just stop the rest of them. It's Kobe or bust in that offense, and too many times, even under D'Antoni now, it's been bust. And I thought maybe Nash would even it up, and that the click would be that Nash would feed Kobe here and there and get him efficient shots. 29 shots in a home loss to Philadelphia? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's just pathetic, and that's a problem.
Agreed.
Where do I begin?
Wait, even the Laker fans just agreed with me.
Yeah, well, I don't care. You understand? And that's not to knock you.
Yes, it is.
It is not, because I would not knock her.
That's so disrespectful.
I would not knock her. I'm just saying, for anybody to agree with you about basketball, we should all be allergic to it. Here's the deal.
We should be allergic to it.
This is the reality of the situation, Skip. You're not paying attention. Yes, I understand Kobe's averaging, he shot about 121 more shots than even Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
He's shooting more shots than anybody in the league.
Think about that. 121 more?
Don't interrupt with me.
Well,
Stay with me
because
I'm getting to your point. It's Kobe, it's Russell Westbrook, it's LeBron James, it's Kevin Durant. Those are the top 4 shooters in terms of number of shots, field goal attempts in this game. I get where you're coming from. I understand it. But you are supposed to be more informed than this. Look at the Lakers roster. You've got Pau Gasol. He's 32 with bad knees. You've got Meta World Peace. He's 33, and he was slow on a good day, so he's still slower now, even though he can still defend and he's still rough and rugged. Speed has just never, ever been his thing. Steve Nash is turning 39 years old next month. You understand? And then on top of it all, you have Mike D'Antoni in an up-tempo system that encourages people to shoot the ball.
You left out the best center in pro basketball, according to you.
Well, the Dwight Howard, but I understand. But I'm thinking big man because he's launched over 340 more shots than Dwight Howard. There's no doubt about that. And I understand that you can make the argument that Dwight Howard needs to get the ball more. But whose problem would that be? Could it be Mike D'Antoni? I tried to tell y'all this. I tried to tell everybody this. Mike D'Antoni, I'm going to say this again, okay? And everybody sit there and, oh, you're being disrespectful. Mike D'Antoni can coach. Mike D'Antoni knows the game of basketball. But it is not as important for him to win as it is for him to win his way. He came to Phoenix with the objective and the agenda to revolutionize the game of basketball on an offensive side of the ball, and he has actually done it because now we don't really have legitimate centers in the game anymore parading all over the place. We have centers disguised or power forwards disguised as centers playing the position. You got everybody with a license to shoot. You and I talked about this inside of 12 seconds. You've got a system in place where you have the license to shoot. And we look at Kobe Bryant. Oh, I'm sorry, he's shooting 47% from the field. Now, those are high numbers. He's only dipped a percentage point. 47% shooting from the field is relatively impressive, and he's averaging 30. You look at everybody else is struggling. Antoine Jamison ain't what he used to be, even though he could still play. You hope that Jody Meeks can come on board, but it's Jody Meeks here. We ain't talking Westbrook or somebody like that. You're talking about Meta World Peace. You're talking about an aging and a disabled Pau Gasol still on the court. We're talking about a Dwight Howard who Stan Van Gundy ultimately confessed to the other day. What I have been saying to you all season long is not 100% his back. he has been playing despite his back being injured. You take all of these impediments into consideration. What is Kobe Bryant supposed to do? Go out on the floor and watch them lose game after game after game? Nobody else can do but so much, because not only are they aged and they're disabled, but they're playing in a system that doesn't cater to their strengths, even if they were healthy. So all of those things.
I don't see any Mike D'Antoni system here.
Look, Mike D'Antoni.
I see a Kobe Bryant system.
I see a Mike D'Antoni system. Push the pace, manipulate the pace, keep pushing the ball up the floor, take open shots. So what happens? If Kobe's open, Kobe's gonna take it, especially when he's watching other dudes missing shots. The dude is averaging 30 and playing with a bunch of hobbled and aging supporting cast members. This is not a dude that is playing with a bunch of Olympians and, oh, I want to be selfish. This is a dude that's sitting out there and saying, I have no other option because these dudes ain't ready to roll. Wait until you see what happens to them Friday night against the Clippers. Lord have mercy. You talk about young legs. I don't care how they looked last night. They just took the day off in the Mile High City. Trust me, they'll be ready Friday night. I'm telling you stuff like that. That's what you have to pay attention to. You can't ignore all of those things I just pointed out, because they are entirely accurate. They are entirely on point, which is every reason why Mike D'Antoni should not have been the one picked ahead of Phil Jackson.
The point
or
you're
Brian
missing,
Shaw, by the way.
The point you're missing is the Andrew Bynum point from last year. Do you realize how difficult it is to play with Kobe Bryant at this stage of his career?
I'm not denying that it's difficult. You're right about that, Skip. But I'm saying to you, as difficult as it may be for people to play with Kobe Bryant, who's looking for his shot and who is a gunner, and even Kobe would admit that, they won 5 championships for a reason. They won 2 together with Gasol, with Bynum, with Kobe for a reason. Somewhere along the way, the system played a role, and a coach that catered to the players he had in place. Not a coach that says, this is my system, y'all need to adapt. A coach that looked at his players and said, I have to adapt my system to them. That is what is going on.
What do you think Michael Jordan at this age, what's Kobe now, 34?
34.
Yeah. What would Michael Jordan have done at 34 with this Laker team? I say he would have won the championship with this Laker team.
Timeout. This is where you are drastically unfair. It's not the team. I ask you this question. Would Michael Jordan have had that success with this system?
I don't see any system. I don't see it.
I'm trying to tell you. I do. I'm trying to tell you right now. Would Michael Jordan have had success with everybody around him, even though I respect Steve Kerr's, the B.J. Armstrongs, I respect them too, a Dennis Rodman, a Horace Grant, a Scottie Pippen.
All aging players. Ron Harper,
No, what I'm
Pippen,
saying to you is this. Would Michael Jordan have had the same success if Phil Jackson sat there and said, y'all run up and down the floor, feel free to jack up shots when you open? No.
Michael Jordan wouldn't have allowed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But Michael Jordan was empowered by his coach. In L.A., you've got Bus manipulating Kupchak, who hires the coach that they wanted in the middle of the night after sitting there and telling Phil Jackson he had until Monday morning to make a decision. All of this kind of stuff's going on. Kobe, because Dr. Bus is not running the show anymore, it's his son running the show. Kobe doesn't get to have the cachet he once had. When have you ever thought the day will come where you hear Kobe sitting there talking about, look, man, I got faith in the organization. They always figure out a way. I hope they get, things together, blah, blah, blah. You don't hear that. That's what you hear from Kobe now. You never imagine that you hear. This is the dude that came on my radio show years ago and said he'd rather play on Pluto rather than come back and play for the Lakers because he was so disgusted. But that was when he was just beyond reproach. And then they went out and got Gasol in the ultimate heist because they traded away Kwame Brown. That's what happened.
But Kobe just blasted the whole team. He just said...
No, he didn't blast it. He's a realist. We're old and we're slow. That ain't blasting the team. That's speaking facts.
Stephen A., are you saying that Kobe's not the problem, D'Antoni's the problem?
I'm saying to you, yes, to some degree, and I hate saying that because I like D'Antoni. I'm not trying to disrespect the man. It's not like he can't coach. He has his system. It doesn't fit these players. I didn't say Mike D'Antoni doesn't deserve to be a head coach. I said he should not have been the coach of the Lakers because His system didn't fit this roster, this personnel. They made the decision because they had Steve Nash, and they ignored all the other parts that they had around them. You don't do that when you're picking a head coach. That's what the Lakers did, and that's why they ain't going anywhere.